welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty common, a light bulb.
Great.
But it turns out it's right at the center of this huge, fast-growing global market shift. We're diving into the global LED globes market analysis and forecast from Cognitive Market Research.
Yeah.
Our goal here, to kind of break down the numbers, figure out what's really driving all this growth, and just explore how LEDs are being adopted worldwide. This deep dive should get you up to speed quickly and maybe give you a few aha moments about a market that's, well, surprisingly significant.
Exactly. And it's more than just the numbers, isn't it? I mean, this connects to bigger things like sustainability, new tech. It's about how we're changing the way we light everything globally.
Okay, so let's unpack the big picture first. The global numbers are pretty staggering. The report says the market was already worth nearly, $3.9 billion back in 2021?
That's right, almost $4 billion.
And then it jumped to over $5.3 billion by 2025.
Mm.
But here's the kicker. It's projected to almost double again. We're talking past $9.9 billion by 2033. That's a compound annual growth rate.
Yeah.
A CAGR of 8.1% between 2025 and 2033. That's huge growth for something like a light bulb.
It really is. And what's driving it fundamentally is this big shift by, well, everyone, consumers, businesses, industries, towards lighting that saves energy and is more sustainable. The benefits of LED globes are just, really clear. They last way longer, use much less electricity, and the light quality is often better, too.
So better light, lasts longer, saves money. Makes sense.
Exactly. And then you have these external factors sort of pushing it along, too. Governments are stepping in with regulations favoring energy efficiency.
Right, mandates and things.
Yeah, and very importantly, the price of LED technology itself has come down quite a bit. They're just more affordable now. Plus, there's this growing awareness everywhere about, environmental benefits, cutting carbon emissions, reducing strain on the power grid. It all adds up.
Okay, so billions of dollars, major drivers.
Mm-hmm.
But where's this happening most? Let's look at the regions. We should probably start with North America, right? This seems like a big piece of the puzzle.
It's definitely a major player.
Their market was around $1.6 billion in 2021, and it's expected to grow to almost $3.9 billion by 2033. That's still strong growth, about 7.8% CAGR. So what's the breakdown there?
Well, North America is led, unsurprisingly, by the United States. It holds the lion's share of that market.
Okay.
The U.S. market is projected to hit over $3 billion by 2033. Growing at about 7.5%. But what's interesting, like you said, is the rest of the region. Canada's market is actually growing faster at nearly 9% CAGR, projected to hit over $417 million.
Wow, almost 9%.
And Mexico isn't far behind either, over 8.6% CAGR, looking at around $465 million by 2033. So it's really a continent-wide shift happening there.
Got it. Okay, let's hop over to Europe then. Seems like a more maybe mixed bag there, different countries, different speeds.
Yeah, Europe is definitely diverse. The overall market was about $647 million in 2021, and it's projected to grow to nearly $1.55 billion by 2033. That's a CAGR of about 7.6%. Quite solid.
Okay, and within Europe, any standouts?
Well, you have the big economies like Germany and the UK. Germany's looking at over $360 million by 2033, growing around 7.9%. The UK is projected around $283 million, with an even higher growth rate, actually, over 8.5%.
Interesting.
France, Italy, Spain, they're all showing steady growth, too, maybe around the 6.5% to 7.5% mark.
Right.
But what caught my eye was the rest of Europe.
Okay.
That category, which bundles a lot of the smaller countries, actually has the highest growth rate in Europe, over 8.6%. It suggests the adoption is really widespread now, reaching into sort of every corner of the continent.
That makes sense. The technology gets cheaper, everyone jumps on board eventually.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now, Asia Pacific. This is where, I think you said earlier, it gets really interesting.
Yes, the scale and the speed here are remarkable.
Numbers. Started around $896 million in 2021, projected to surge past $2.45 billion by 2033. That's a regional CGR of almost 8.8%. So why such fast growth there?
Well, if you think about it, Asia-Pacific is home to massive populations, rapid urbanization, huge manufacturing bases. It's just primed for this kind of growth. China, of course, leads the way. Their market is expected to reach over $840 million by 2033, growing at almost 9%.
Huge numbers.
And India is another key story. It's growing even faster, over 9.5% CAGR, projected to hit nearly $246 million. Think about all the new construction, the infrastructure development.
Right, lighting up new cities, new factories.
Exactly. Japan, South Korea, Australia, all showing solid growth, too, around 7-8%. But here's a real standout. Taiwan.
Taiwan. Okay.
It's a smaller market overall, sure, but its projected CAGR is 9.9%. That's the highest country-specific growth rate we've seen in the whole report.
Merely 10% year over year. Wow. What drives that, do you think? Strong government push, tech adoption?
It's likely a combination, maybe strong incentives, maybe a rapid push towards smart city tech,
Yeah.
high industrial modernization. Something's really accelerating LED adoption there.
Fascinating. Okay, let's quickly round out the globe. South America, Middle East, Africa. What's the story there?
Right, these regions might start from a smaller base, but the growth potential is definitely there.
South America, for instance, around $280 million in 2021, expected to hit over $630 million by 2033. That's about 6.6% growth. And Brazil leads there.
Yes, Brazil's a big part of that, growing a bit faster than the regional average, around 7.3%. It's projected to reach nearly $295 million.
Okay. And the Middle East saw some strong numbers there, too.
Yeah, the Middle East is projected to grow at about 8.65% CAGR. Started around $237 million, looking to hit over $640 million by 2033.
And Saudi Arabia is the big player.
Saudi Arabia is definitely the largest contributor, yes. Projected to reach almost $250 million, growing at over 9% CAGR. Lots of development happening there.
Okay, and finally, Africa. You mentioned something surprising here.
Yes, Africa actually has the highest overall regional growth rate, a CGR of 9.78%.
Higher than Asia Pacific.
As a region, yes, almost 9.8%. It's starting from about $230 million in 2021, but projected to hit over $716 million by 2033. That rate of growth is really something.
Incredible. Which countries are driving that?
Well, Nigeria shows very strong growth, over 9.5%, projected to reach over $260 million. But the absolute highest country growth rate in the entire report comes from South Africa.
Higher than Taiwan.
Higher than Taiwan. South Africa is projected to grow at a massive 10.2% CAGR. Its market is expected to more than triple, reaching over $333 million by 2033.
Over 10% growth. That's transformative.
It really is. It suggests more than just swapping bulbs. It points towards major infrastructure upgrades, maybe new energy policies taking hold, rapid development. It's a continent really embracing this shift.
So wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you listening? All these billions in percentages, it seems pretty clear this directly impacts things like your energy bills, right?
Right.
And it's part of that bigger global push for sustainability.
Exactly. Every time you choose an LED, you're basically part of this huge ongoing global transition. It's not just a trend, it's a fundamental change in our energy infrastructure happening everywhere.
Yeah, you really see the scale when you look at the global numbers and the regional breakdowns.
It's a shift away from older, inefficient tech towards something much smarter, much cleaner, driven by simple economics, policy, and, well, just better technology.
So a staggering global market, growing fast, driven by efficiency, sustainability, lower costs. It really does look like a brighter future, quite literally.
It does. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Consider this rapid global switch. If everyone's using hyper-efficient lighting, what does that do to overall energy demand? How might that change our energy infrastructure, our power grids? What other innovations might spin off from this massive global upgrade? It really makes you wonder what else this brighter future holds.
Have you ever really stopped to think about the light all around us? I mean, it's everywhere. We use it constantly, but we rarely consider the tech behind it. But there's this kind of invisible revolution happening. Right above our heads, really. So today we're doing a deep dive into, well, the brilliant future of LED lighting. We've looked at some recent market analysis to figure out what's really driving this huge shift, and also, what challenges are still out there and where this tech is actually going next.
Yeah, and our goal here is really to pull out the key insights from all that analysis, give you a sort of shortcut to understanding why LEDs are truly revolutionary right now. It's not just about what's happening, but why it matters so much.
Okay, let's get into it then. The analysis we saw points to just massive growth for LEDs. What do you see as the single biggest reason? What's really powering this boom?
Well, hands down, the biggest force is energy efficiency and the cost savings that naturally follow. I mean, we're talking LEDs using way less electricity, sometimes, up to 80% less than the old bulbs.
80%. Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. And that's not just like a small saving on your home electricity bill. It's fundamentally changing budgets for businesses everywhere, and it's definitely helping push us towards greener infrastructure overall.
I can definitely see how that's a game changer. So, okay, beyond just cutting the power bill, what other sort of strategic wins are businesses seeing?
It really is this kind of win-win situation, especially for bigger operations. Think about, say, a supermarket chain.
Right.
They might have thousands of fluorescent lights.
Mm.
When they switch to LEDs, sure, the power bill drops dramatically, but they also slash maintenance costs because LEDs just last so much longer. That means fewer bulb changes, less time spent up on ladders.
Ah, right. Less labor, less hassle.
Exactly. It adds up to really significant ongoing savings, straight to the bottom line.
That really paints a clear picture. So the money side of it is obviously super compelling. But it's not just the market driving this, is it? It feels like governments are playing a big role too.
Oh, absolutely. You've got regulators all across Europe, North America, Asia.
Hmm.
They're not just encouraging LEDs, they're actively phasing out the old, inefficient lights.
So pushing the old tech out.
Pretty much. And they back that up, too, with things like rebates, tax credits, big public campaigns about energy efficiency, trying to make it easier for everyone to switch.
Okay.
A really great example is the UVIL scheme over in India. They offered LEDs at subsidized prices to millions, literally millions of homes.
Well,
And that single program massively sped up LED adoption across the whole country. It just shows how powerful policy can be as a market driver.
that's incredible how one big push can change things so fast.
Yeah.
And speaking of big changes, what about urbanization? All the
Right.
new buildings, new infrastructure. How is that factoring in?
Oh, it's a huge driver. Huge. You see cities expanding like crazy, right? Especially in emerging economies.
Yeah.
And for all that new infrastructure, highways, airports, massive smart home projects, LEDs are basically the default choice now.
Why is that? Just the efficiency again.
Well, that's part of it, sure. But they're also really durable, need very little maintenance, and crucially, they integrate super easily into smart systems. Think about streetlights tied into a city's smart grid, dimming when there's no traffic.
Okay.
Or maybe mood lighting in a new apartment complex that you control from your phone. LEDs are just, well, built for that kind of modern environment.
It almost sounds like a perfect storm pushing LEDs forward. But like with any big tech shift, it can't all be smooth sailing, right? There must be some bumps in the road, some flickers maybe.
Oh.
What are the main things holding back even wider adoption?
You're right, it's not without challenges, and probably the biggest one, at least for regular consumers, is still that initial cost, the upfront price.
Ah, the sticker shock.
Exactly. You go to buy a bulb, you see the LED price next to an old incandescent. It can be jarring, especially in places where people are really watching their budgets. Even though everyone knows LEDs save money over time, that first hurdle, that higher price tag right there in the store, can still be a pretty big barrier.
Yeah, I get that. And, okay, beyond the price, I've definitely run into some of this myself.
Yeah.
What about issues like heat sensitivity or getting them to work properly with dimmer switches?
You are definitely not alone there. Heat can be an issue. Some LEDs just don't perform quite as well, or their lifespan might even get shorter if they're in really hot environments.
You're right.
And yeah, the dimmer thing, it's a classic frustration. Not all LED bulbs are designed to work smoothly with older dimmer switches. So you get that weird flickering or maybe a buzzing sound. It's a common complaint and a real headache sometimes during installation.
Makes total sense.
Ah.
Okay, and one last challenge area, something that seems to be a growing worry, these low-quality, maybe even counterfeit products flooding the market.
Yeah, this one's a really big deal because the market is just, well, crowded with cheap knockoffs, and these often don't meet basic safety standards, let alone performance ones. They might overheat, they could burn out in weeks, or worst case, even pose a fire risk.
That's worrying.
It is. But here's the really crucial part. When someone buys a cheap LED, and it flickers or dies right away, it doesn't just sour them on that one purchase. It actually damages their trust in all LEDs. They start thinking, oh, this technology just isn't reliable.
Right, tarnishes the whole category.
Exactly. And that makes people hesitant to invest in the good quality ones later. It's a major strategic hurdle for the industry's long-term health, really.
That really underlines why choosing reputable brands matters. Okay, but let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about the really exciting stuff, the trends that are genuinely lighting up the industry. This is where the innovation gets fun.
Yeah.
And one of the absolute hottest trends has to be smart LED integration. We're moving way beyond just turning lights on and off, aren't we? It's about interaction now.
Oh, absolutely. It's personalization, really. Imagine, like, your living room lights automatically shifting to a warm, cozy glow when you start playing your favorite relaxing playlist. Or just being able to control everything. The brightness, the color, setting complex schedules, just using your voice, talking to Alexa or Google Home,
No.
or doing it all from an app on your phone. It's about crafting an experience, creating a mood, not just, flipping a switch anymore.
That sounds amazing for setting a vibe or maybe even for focus, like different light for working.
Exactly.
And we're also seeing this big push towards sustainability,
Ah.
right? More recyclable designs, which fits perfectly with the wider global focus on cutting waste and carbon footprints.
Yes, definitely. Manufacturers are really exploring eco-friendly materials now, designing parts that can be easily recycled. It lines up with things like green building standards and sustainability certificates people look for now.
So better materials.
Right. And some companies are even pushing towards closed-loop systems. The idea is you return your old LED bulbs, they get taken apart, and the valuable bits get reused in new products. It's trying to create a proper circular economy for lighting, cutting down on that landfill waste.
That's really clever.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, there's this whole stylish side emerging.
Hmm.
Decorative designer LED bulbs seem to be everywhere now.
Uh,
It's clearly not just about function anymore. It's become about, well, form, too.
Totally. Lighting is now a core part of the design story. The aesthetic of a space. We're seeing all sorts of things. These cool vintage style filament LEDs that give off that warm, sort of nostalgic glow.
Yeah, the Edison bulb look.
Exactly. Those are super popular. And then you have color tunable lights that can shift from, say, a bright, cool white when you need to focus down to a really soft, calming amber light for relaxing in the evening. Think about those cozy little cafes with the dim, golden filament bulbs everywhere. It creates that whole inviting vibe. Or smart bulbs in a modern home instantly changing the room's mood. Lighting is just, well, essential decor now, not just a utility.
So wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you listening in? I mean, whether you're drawn in by the huge cost savings or the cool smart home integrations, or maybe the push for sustainability or just wanting lights that look great, it seems pretty clear the LED market is, well, it's more than just bright.
Ah,
It really is brilliant.
it really is. And maybe that leaves us with something interesting to think about. As LEDs get smarter, more integrated, better at controlling color and mood, how might this technology actually start to fundamentally change how we perceive our physical spaces? Could it even influence our well-being, our productivity in ways we're only just beginning to understand? Something to ponder?